Hi everyone. So one of the main concerns with students have about from the MBA point of view, will I be able to survive the MBA jungle? Because lot of time students are not, those are especially not from the major towns, Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, metro cities. So they feel like B-town, the typical tier 2, tier 3 cities. So they're a little scared of. They have very huge plans, but they get scared. So can you give us some tips that how they can become the Mufasa of the jungle?
Yeah, of course.
And before we start, I want to introduce yourself because he is the one who is making the alliance
into the Lion Kings, right?
Correct.
So I am Dr. Shirley Tiwari, and I have been associated with ISME now for 8 years roughly, and I do have a 20+ years of experience in Mumbai as well as Pune and Delhi and Noida and now here. And I'm a researcher, plus I'm heading the Department of Student Development cell here at ISME. As you correctly said, that we are into the process of making lions or lion cubs or Simbas into Mufasas. So when a student comes to us, we do have roughly around 23 to 28 different part of different states which are representing in ISME. We do have a lot of students coming from North. Now there are a couple of things that we find in students. Not every student is as confident as others are coming into, and English, when it comes to communication skills, which is not only English but also the confidence of delivering a speech or delivering or speaking in English, it is very different in different people in different states. We do find a lot of students who are coming with a heavy MTI, that is a mother tongue influence. We do find people who find it very difficult to cope up here. So for such kind of things in ISME, what we do is that we have a bridge program. Now what is a bridge program is that we give the flair of MBA to all the students who are from the very basic things, very, very basic things like telling them exactly that how marketing is done. People who are scared of numbers, telling them and giving them a very basic idea about finance, what is assets, liabilities and all those things. So, and give them certain books to read, certain notes to read, certain presentations to go through, so that when a student come here, land in an MBA, it is easy for him to understand the basic concepts. That is one thing that is a different that we do.
Because the moment student join, you feel like an orphan. There's no hand-holding, there's no support, suddenly directly lecture number 1, lecture number 2.
Correct.
So this kind of bridge is required.
Bridging is very important. Number 2, when he lands here, we do understand that's a lot of nostalgia that a student comes from and a lot of baggage that a student comes from.
Correct.
So we do have a very specific program which is called as a mentoring and a counseling. So we have a professional counselor here. So any kind of family-related issue, emotions, feelings, moods are handled by that person, or coping things are handled by the counselor. Apart from that, all the faculty or almost all faculties at ISME, we handhold a student and become their mentors. And not only from the time of their entry, at least at the time or till the time they are getting good in corporates. Like for example, we have got a lot of students who have joined from very humble backgrounds, from very remote areas in India, and right now they are doing some really, really good work with corporates. Our ISME alumni is so strong that almost in all the sectors in India, we have got some senior people who are working, and they are through ISME.
Correct.
So we mentor them on their career, we mentor them on an academia, we mentor them on their additional certifications if they want. So we believe in a holistic development of student. We do not want student to just be there as a book and go into the book and learning only the research work and all. We divert their mind and create inquisitivity in their mind so that they look out for answers. And that we do by introducing a lot of research related things. We introduce by giving them a lot of avenues through clubs and labs. We have specific clubs and labs, like in international universities also. If you go, you will find that there are more than, there are a lot of clubs where a student can exercise their skill sets. So we believe at ISME that not only an academia is the area where a person can grow, wherein in corporates we see that, multi-dimensional students and people with different skill sets are are in great demand, and they are liked by all, and they do develop their leadership skills in a much better way. So we are in the process of making them leaders, and in that our clubs and labs help a lot. So we develop, like, for just to give you a little example, we do have a club called communication club. Now that is not an English class, but that's where students will do a lot of extempore, they will do a lot of debating, they'll do a very free flow where they're extremely relaxed and can speak their minds out. They criticize movies, they talk about political issues, they talk about, and it's absolutely free without being getting scared or being judged.
Yes, that's the main problem.
So we just remove that fear out from them so that they flourish and they blossom. Right, and we convert them into leaders. So this is also one of the things that we do, a little different at ISME.
It's not that easy to do.
It's very difficult. I understand.
Ma'am, I'll go back to the first thing you said. The moment we started this conversation, the first thing you talked about was comm skills and English. Because even for the interviews to come into your college, I need to have a basic level of English.
Yes.
So any kind of 2-3 tips or 2-3 pointers you want to give us so that a student can work on now,
absolutely,
so that he can get a little bit more command or at least more confidence in English.
Yeah. So I'm talking to those students now who wanted to do an MBA, but they are a little skeptical or scared that how English and how difficult English. Let me just clear the myth. Point number 1. There is no very high verbatim kind of an English that MBA colleges look for. They look and communication where a student is able to communicate its ideas, views very clearly in a simple language to the other person. Now sometimes people get scared. So there are 3 tips that I would like to give and advice to the students, aspiring students who want to come for an MBA college. Number 1 is that you should watch CNN, IBN or Times news and all and try to comprehend that well. You should watch it, see how they are talking, what kind of a language they are using, where the pauses are, where the full stops are, how they are reading. That is point number 1. You grasp it and then you read it aloud. There is something called as, in Times of India, there is something called as editorial page. In that you can just pick that up, can go in front of the mirror and start reading it aloud. And listen to yourself. If possible, please record it. And listen to yourself. If possible, if somebody can help you out in that, it's even more better. So if you read it, your confidence will increase, your diction will come well. And number 3, if you're not happy with, it's too much of a news and too much of a paper and all, then my third and very easy advice is you should watch English movies with subtitles. When you watch an English movie with subtitle, you understand it well. What happens with there's a basic difference between our language and a foreign language. Their accent is very different than us. We are very neutral accent. That's because we have been 200 years ruled by Britishers. So our grammar is very good, but our accent is very neutral. So we can easily pick an Australian or an US or a British accent very easily. So when we watch a movie, it is on a different accent. But when we read the subtitles, we comprehend it well, that what the hero is speaking or what the character is talking about. So you understand it well also. Your verbatim also increases a little better. Your vocabulary also increases a little better. So you need to understand it thoroughly and watch as many movies as you can. I generally, when I belong to a very, very small town from UP. When I started doing it, I started watching with animation movies. I used to watch very, very small kids movies, and at that time there were no subtitles, but I used to rewind it and watch it again, rewind it and watch it again, so that I can understand that what exactly they are saying. So I belong to where there is no electricity also was not there for 24 hours at that point in time. So from that time I used to record it that was a Walkman used to come, and I used to listen to the English music and all. So if you want to listen to an English music, watch English movies with the subtitles, comprehend them. Next step would be to read newspapers loudly, and last would be to watch news and be aware with the current. It will help you in 2-3 ways. You will be very good with current affairs also. Your English will be well, and you will be you'll be on the top of things. Correct. These are a couple of things a student can do.
Great. One thing I like to add here is the student should start talking English.
Yeah.
We are normally scared of what people will laugh. If you are scared that people around you will laugh, how will you survive the corporate jungle in the future?
That is basically a student gets scared when he is fearful of getting judged. Point number 1. Point number 2, which you said that, people have to speak in English. Now, what happens in northern part of the country or a southern part of the country, people are very, very comfortable in talking in their regional languages in India.
Correct.
Now, problem comes here is we start thinking also in regional language. And why there is a discord? Because we think in regional language, then we convert and we tell it in an English language. So that's why a problem comes. But when you start watching, listening and singing English too much and think, your thinking also automatically start converting into English. Right? So my advice would be, it's difficult, it will not happen overnight, but yes, if you can start thinking and framing your sentences in your mind in English, and it will happen with a conscious effort. So if and it all depends on a student. It all depends on a student. At this age, when a student comes for a PG course, something like an MBA or a PGDM, faculty is not spoon feeding them. And this is not an age of spoon feeding, right? This is something that we will give them a lot of things, available to them. This depends on a student's motivation and his inner hunger to excel. Right. So if you start thinking, and that's why these couple of tips, read English all the time, try to talk in English all the time, frame your sentences in your brain, think in English. So it will happen. See, at the end of the day, English is not our mother tongue. But fortunately or unfortunately, it's a business language. So we need to converse in English as comfortably as we can. So it starts with the practice.
Correct. Any last tip? For example, I teach maths. So my advice, if you can do formulas before you come to class, you'll be very confident in the class. Anything you can recommend that students can do now before they join the MBA college? So any couple of things you will recommend them to do?
You're talking in
MBA aspirants, those who are
from a maths perspective?
From a MBA perspective, any courses that you recommend or com skills, any kind of...
Yeah, see, there are a lot of, if they are already there in any coaching centers or something, of course their professors would have told them. But apart from that, if they, 2-3 things which are essential for an MBA student to get into an MBA college is, number 1 is his current knowledge. Current affair knowledge is extremely important, because business is not only for a company, it's for the entire economy. So an understanding of the business, which if he's interested in marketing, then what kind of different companies are there, in which industry are there, that basic knowledge is very essential for a student when he wants to come into an MBA. Number 2 is political, economic, social, environmental knowledge has to be good. So a student should read a lot of newspaper, listen to a lot of news, discuss that news with the people who are available, with his friends or family members. And third is a basic understanding of mathematical thing. Basically in an MBA, a student survives and excel. Survival can happen by almost everyone, but excel in an MBA is done only by those students, those who are really, really aware of the business world, and those who have a learnability attitude. A student who comes with the mindset of learning different things and an analytical bend of mind. In all the subjects that we teach, we need to have an analytical, a conceptual thinking is extremely important for an MBA student. MBA course is not a course where you can just mug up a question and vomit it in the question paper and an answer sheet and you'll get the marks. No, it is not like that. We give you a live situation and business situation, and you have to think conceptually around it. As a manager, how will you solve it? And you have to be very analytical in investigating the things from the case or from the situation, and then come across with if you pick up a historical data of all the MBA students who have excelled after MBA, if they excel, then you will find these are those students who are very good in analyzing, in analysis, in analyzing the things, in understanding the situation well and finding solutions. And this can happen only when you are well versed what is happening around you. If you really do not know what is happening politically, economically, socially, or so it is not gonna work. Sometimes I really feel when a student come here, and when I ask them that why you are here sometimes, so he says that if I'll take an HR, then my focus is only about people and HR and policies and all that. It doesn't work like that. All the disciplines of management are interwoven with each other. HR has to know finance, has to know stats, definitely would be aware of marketing, what is happening in the market scenario. Only then they can survive and can excel. So it goes with all the disciplines. So that open-mindedness is very important for a student. Very, very important. A growth mindset is very important.
Correct. So if you want to join the MBA college, especially if you're going to be under ma'am as a mentor, you have to throw away whatever in your cup.
Yeah,
the
and
empty
yes,
cup.
you have to be ready. Yeah, you have to think, rethink. So there is you know, in MBA there is a theory where we say freeze, refreeze, and unfreeze, freeze, and refreeze. So you have to empty your cup, you have to fill it with the new knowledge, and then you have to apply all those skills in your market.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much.
And I hope that a lot of all B schools should have people like you to guide them.
Yeah.
Because there, trust me, many colleges where students are struggling, they have no idea what is going on.
Yes. Nowadays, what happens? It's very sad situation. You know, people, they think that if you are not doing anything, then at least you will get selected in an MBA, and it's very easy to do an MBA. I am not saying that MBA is a rocket science. I'm actually not saying that. Whatever we are teaching, you can get it on a YouTube videos easily. But what we teach you here is skills, attitude, and amalgamation of all the sciences together and bring them and converting them into a business kind of a scenario. So if a person, I will suggest only those students who want to make a difference and have a zeal of understanding a business and how a business is run and how different aspects are connected to business. Those students should apply for MBA because this is the place for them. Apart from that, the students who think because uncle ji ke bete ne bhi MBA kiya hai to main bhi kar lun aur Sharma ji ki beti ne kiya hai to main kar lun, that thing will not work. Before joining, and this is not true for MBA, this is true for all the streams, all the careers that a student want to take. They should do a research that what that career is all about, where it will lead, and whether they suit or match to that career. I have seen a lot of students doing you know, preparation for their engineering and medical and all those things without knowing that whether that competency is there in them or not. And to an extent, it's not only the students, it's parents also who have to be definitely researching about their career, about their about the children's career, about their children's life. They know it better whether the competency in the student, in the child lies or not. And depending on that, they should train him in that way.
Right.
So
I've been to a lot of B schools. Let me just summarize everything. Is that every college, a lot of colleges are focused on placement point of view.
Yes.
So placement, if you focus on placement, everything revolves around placement.
Yes.
And there's very few colleges, and I'm thinking for the first time a B school which have a position for a student development head.
Yeah.
So that should be there in every college, in fact.
Yes, I do believe it is. Unfortunately or fortunately, very less people in the industry, they realize the importance of human development.
Correct.
Right, and our education system is now moving to the next level, and for that there are a lot of researches which have proved. You know, Harvard researches are available. I can share with you some. There are Harvard researches which are available. There are a lot of very fine researches which are available, which says that, you know, in long run, what helps somebody to excel is their interpersonal skills, you know, and it's about their skill sets. The domain knowledge is, of course, is important. Domain knowledge is essential, but to excel that domain knowledge, you need to exercise those domain knowledge, and that comes with the skill inheritance. And when we make certain departments like student development and all, here we nurture the different talents, and we take that talent and bring it to the business, and how you can add this thing. So for example, we do have something called as Busy Buzz. It's a high level management fest, a very you know, it's one of the flagship programs of ISME, Ignito Buzz and Busy Buzz. There are two fests that we conduct. So here we our students learn a lot of things. Right, we send them to all different colleges to get the participation. So they learn coordination. We send students to all the corporates to get money and sponsorships. So students learn how to deal with the corporates and all, how to be professional. And then there are a lot of conflicts among the students, so they know how to deal with the conflicts. Correct. So all collaboration, planning, organizing, staffing, team building, all those things are learned by these live things. And number two, very important thing by these fests is that most of the students who come to us are freshers. So what will he add in his CV when he's going to a corporate? So how will a corporate judge him? Because their credibility in the market is still not there. So a new corporate investing into a fresher is actually, you know, we are taking a risk with the fresher. Correct. So when a fresher shows about all these skills that he has developed during Busy Buzz or Ignito Buzz or different kind of events, we roughly do 23 to 25 events every year, including the conclaves and all, where we we invite specific, the bigs and biggies of the corporate world from different domains. So it's starting from the fest to the conclave. We teach students on the spot life skill. On the spot. So they learn all these things on hand rather than learning only from the book. They exercise all those theories and everything on the field. So that adds a lot of value to CV. A lot of value to CV.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And after talking to you, a live example of a 3 Idiots ka dialogue that don't run after success.
Just run after excellence.
Success apne aap aayega.
Absolutely. It's a lovely thing. Thank you so much.